I have been informed to tell you that this is a slower video than usual, and I have a rant about that later on in the video, like the last few minutes or so. I also will show a few new builds that I haven't shown on this channel before, and I will go over every single build that I've made within 4 years of content creating, and a little bit before that as well. Yeah, let's jump in game. Perfect. Wow. Alright, so we are in game, and we are currently in the old hub. Oh, there's Josh. Hey. Hello. This is gonna be a very slow video compared to the other ones, mainly because I need something a little bit less ambitious to be able to actually post something, you know. This is a 4-year anniversary for content creating wise. I've been doing this for 4 years now. Time flies, I guess. But let's get into it. When we bakers enter the server, we write /bakers, and this takes us to one ginormous private world just for bakers, and then we have a bunch of smaller worlds that are personal for just one player. So I have another world that is completely separate from this one. So this is the spawn, or this was the spawn back in the day. We have a bunch of things here. We have the back rooms here that we have in the old hub. So this is in the old hub, and you can find it there. This was made by Cam and Achilles. Cool. Yeah, we have some very random builds. This is Mog Swamp's doing. He also did some planning for his world here. I won't explore his stuff very much, but this is the spawn area. Waspy built this together with some people, I think. This is not IKEA, yeah. I remember when they built this. Long time ago. That area over there is from Strumbu, who was an old-time baker. He doesn't post very much anymore, but he sometimes do, I think. You'll have to check his stuff out if you want to see more of that. But I have my area right beside the spawn point. So this is my quadrant, if you want to call it that. I have some mess arounds, and then I have a ginormous build over there that we will get to. Actually, let's start here. So these two builds are from... The angel is from Mars in 2022, and the bubbles is from July in 2022. So the same year. This was my best build for a while. I still like it quite a lot, just for its the artistic things about it. I think this view from right here is the banner for my YouTube channel, I think. But let's start with all the small terrain builds. I had quite a long time. I had a theme going where I built some small terrains, some concepts basically. So these are from... I'll just put the time somewhere in the video and you can check it out within the timestamp. Yeah, I will be going through these quite quick because, yeah, there are so many of them. Many fun builds. This one I built together with Sixer, I think. I really like this one. This was the first time I actually played around with doing branches, because before that I barely did any of them. So this was a little bit of an experiment to see how well it would turn out. More concepts. This one... Wait, was it that one? Yeah, this one was so stupid because I made it within like 20 minutes or so, and it got 17,500 likes on Instagram, which is mind-blowing. And I did it within like, definitely within half an hour. It was so little effort I put into it, and I was kinda angry it got that much praise and attention that it did compared to lots of my other builds. This was also a collab I did with... No, this was not a collab. I built this as a submission for a build team. Another concept. I tried to use the boulder command. So these are all boulders from Archeon. And then I wanted to use some coloring to make it unique. And this one did really well actually. 5,000 likes. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm happy it got the attention it deserved. This one was... It's hollow, I know. Yeah, I should fix that, at least for the Patreons, because when they download the build, this is what they get, so they can do whatever they want with the interior, but I should actually finish the exteriors just to make it look complete. But I really like this concept actually. I think this frame right here is a very clean build, very clear, and it's colorful and it's happy. It got almost a desert feeling to it, so I like it a lot. It was one of my favorite structured builds for quite some time. Let's go over here. This is the first time I experimented with Go Brush, I think. No, Go Paint. So the diamond colors here are I used with Go Paint, so that inspired the little paintbrush beneath it. Very fun build. This one is another concept. I think I really got the cliffs very nicely made. That's my favorite thing about this build. This was a collaboration with Past Builds. Super good builder. And we pulled this off. It's a very nice build if you ask me. What do we call it? Like a mechanical dinosaur or something? It is inspired by Horizon Forbidden West, and we call it mechanical organic, something like that. I'm super happy with how this turned out. This inspired the build right behind it, which is another build with the same concept, using kind of a mechanical feeling to an organic. It was quite unique at the time. I thought this one was built with Hitachi, another great builder. We built kind of similar stuff back in the day, so I felt like we were quite a good match to build together and to make a build like this. I'm super happy about the horns. Yeah, just the shapes are nice. Behind it we have another terrain build. This is another step from that one over there. I want to do more flowy shapes with the arches instead of just doing one simple one. Behind it we have a fun build that I built with an IRL friend actually. I don't think I used this for anything, unfortunately. Yeah, very fun build and a little bit experimental, but I like it. We got this thing over here, another concept with some floating things. As you can see, I'm starting to like slightly increase the quality. They're not just a blob with the tree on it. This one actually has some shape to it, like the flow of the grass and yeah, the colors. Super nice build. I like this terrain very much. One of my favorites. Behind us we have this circular honey looking terrain concept, also very nice build. I think this did super well when I posted it. Yeah, 6,000 likes, which is a lot. That is a lot. This is when I started to get bored of doing these kinds of concepts for terrain. I wanted to have more shape, like this one behind me. And then I got inspired by some autumn weather, and I thought of walking in like a park. I'm imagining someone walking on top of here. But yeah, I really like this build. It's one of my favorite terrain concepts, just because it felt more close to an experience that I would actually encounter, you know. than just this build, which is fun and unique, but this build is more personal to me. I'm super happy that it did so well. It got 38,000 likes on Instagram. It is my second best ever post on Instagram. Posted this on Reddit as well, on the Minecraft builds Reddit, and I think it did super well on there as well. So it's one of the few builds that I feel is a high quality, and the audience, you guys and everyone that don't follow me, appreciate as well. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. This build is one of my first ever takes on structures, because I wanted to replicate, you know, that old school Baroque type of building, or something in that direction. I built this structure, and then I had to put some terrain next to it just to make it feel like it actually suited on my Instagram page, and I wanted it also to be recognizable as a Davdi build, you know. Look, here's a cinnamon bun, kanelbulle, banger. Super happy with how this turned out. Unfortunately, I couldn't really do anything with it because it's such a it's basically just a build I want to learn from. The build behind it is the same as the yellow in the start. It's super low effort. I wasn't very happy with it. Oh my goodness. This one got over almost 6,000 likes, and that was like the problem with all these terrains, is that they did so well on Instagram, but I didn't really get much from it, except for recognition, I guess. So I wanted to do more cool stuff, because I could learn more building-wise from them. Here's another thing. I don't think this did very well for good reasons. I experimented with image brush, which was a tool that I haven't used before. So that's why it has so very random blocks. But this was super good for me, because I could look at these colors and be like, oh yeah, I kind of see how this transitions to like smooth basalt through a structure block. So I was learning block placement through image brush. This is a very small, cute build. I like it a lot. This was built in 2022. That was like my peak era. I had the most growth in 2022, so that's why I have all these builds built within that time frame. This was a little bit more of a scenic piece, which I liked about it. Moving on, we have a portal. This did super well on a few platforms. I was like a little bit unhappy about it for one reason, because I thought it was a cool build, like with a portal that is circular. You don't really have that in game, so it was fairly unique in that sense. But I forgot the grass and trees, and I was so pissed about that, because I only realized it like a few days after. Like, oh, I forgot the trees and the grass. So it's a little bit embarrassing, but people really liked it anyway. Here's a tree build. This was one of my first tree concepts where I used the tree as the focal point. In almost all the other builds, the trees are just for secondary framing, or however you want to call it. But in this build, it's the main thing that grabs your attention. This is a cool build. I realized that I really liked red and black together, which you will see in the build after. This is one of my absolute favorite terrain builds, because this one, just like this one, they have just such a clean shape and silhouette. So I like them a lot. Personally, I barely use diagonal shapes, so this is probably why I like it so much. It feels unique. I discovered blend ball, I think, which is voxel sniper, and with that I was able to make some erosion, which enhanced the build a little bit more. Right next to this we have a violin. This didn't do super well, but I was super happy about the violin itself, and I like it so much because of its uniqueness, I think. The only issue I have with it is that these two colors aren't the same. This is also something that I realized after. I should have made the red and the green the same color, so either red or green. I tried to learn a little bit about structures and how to build them and to use them tastefully. And since like my whole page at this point is mainly terrain slash organics, and we will get into the organics later, but if I posted like a structure on Instagram mainly, or just a structure, nothing else, so no terrain in the build, it would do terribly, absolutely terribly, because Instagram knew that if I build a terrain, it's gonna show it to more people. So if I deviated from that, it wouldn't show it to as many people because it was like a different thing. It would get confused with who to send it to and who to be my audience, basically. But I like it. This is a build that I tried to incorporate an organic into the terrain itself, but I wasn't super happy about the butterfly. I felt like the shape of the butterfly was really off, but I had no idea why. This summer I studied insects, so now I see right away why the shape is completely wrong. I had some reference pictures, but they didn't really help that much. This is when I tried to do terrain with mushrooms instead of trees. I want to be a little bit more, you know, try new things, but not too out of the ordinary, so Instagram wouldn't go crazy. I wanted to gradually expand my, how do you say it? Gradually expand my expertise and building skills, while also building an audience. Back in the day, we didn't have like a good way to transition pink to white. Now we have bamboo and we have some other things, but back then this is as good as it gets without glass paints. Like using glass paints is something that I discovered quite long after this build. This build I really like. It's one of my favorite builds. I know I have said that like 4 times already, but there are some terrains that I feel are super basic, but this one is just well built. It feels like the structure fits so well into the terrain, but the terrain having all the colors, it makes it feel like the terrain should be the focal point, but the structure itself, it's so central and so like it's towering over the terrain, so it feels like that should be the focal point. So I feel like this build is so well made. It just has a good composition, you know? And then striking colors, like black and orange is such a good combo. It's a great build. I like it a lot still. I tried to build something like this for my project world builder, which I can show some images of right here. This is the origin of the project world builder structures. Now this is when I get more into trees. This is a great build, great tree for my skill level at the time. I was super happy with it. It felt like I was starting to get better with coloring and with shaping and just designing overall. The leaves were made with image brush. It came in handy, and then I fixed it up with some alliums everywhere just to give it some more magical feelings. Yeah, super nice build. I like this quite a lot. I continued a little bit with trees and built this concept. It is inspired by a baobab tree. I don't know how you pronounce it. They grow on the savannah. But I wanted to make it a little bit more magical. Now, I think this was a build competition that I entered together with Strumbu. I will have to double check that though. Yes, together with Strumbu, we built it for a building competition. It is called Noble. This build is more of a sculptural build, so it doesn't have like one view that you look at the build. It's more of a it should be looking good from all the directions. I'm super happy with this build. The coloring feels so clean, and I think just the structure of this build is so nice. Not structure in like structure buildings, but more structure of the composition, because I feel like this grabs my attention right away, and having birch-like trees surrounding it, it just incorporates the crown into the terrain. Yeah, I really like this build. If I remember correctly, this is one of those builds where I hid an actual candle in. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I can't find any candles, unfortunately. So we'll just have to move on, I guess. This one was a build that I had to build. I had to build this because on Instagram I had to post either every second day or every third day, and that is what I did for maybe a year and a half. I posted like 2 or 3 times every week, sometimes 4. So it was super high paced. So this build it's very basic. It's not like, the only thing this has to offer is the wind particles. That's like the only thing. Other than that, is super basic. Doesn't stand out in any way. But on this build, on the other hand, has some more shaping to it. This is when I cut the lower half of the leaves a little bit more obvious. Maybe I did it too obvious on this one. Yeah. But the main thing about this build are these swirls. I got inspired by a guy called Endless Candy. So I tried it to myself to make these types of shapes. And if you've seen Endless Candy's builds right now, like he was good like a few years ago, but now he's incredible. So you can see some of his stuff on the bakery. This is one of my more ambitious tries at a human organic. Human organics is like a very big step up from animal organics, because you can mess up animal organics, but with human organics you have to be much more precise with how you build, how you design them, and all that. All the proportions need to be spot on. Although I didn't hit all the proportions spot on this one, it's very well executed for my skill level, and it's pretty good from all the sides as well. So I'm super happy with this build. I do have a copy right above me without all the flowers and stuff. This build did super well. I made a time lapse when I built this. It is my best performing post ever. I think on Instagram it has 2 million views, which is like, I didn't think that was possible. 1.9 million views. It has 64,000 likes and 7,000 saves. To have like 7,000 likes, that is incredible, but this has 7,000 saves, which is, it's crazy. But we will move on. This is a very small part of a very large build that I built as a 10k special for the Instagram, which is quite funny because this is basically my 10k special on YouTube. I have another video coming up for that, but this is just a very small portion of the 10k special for Instagram that I will show very shortly. This is a bread. I built this in 5 minutes, and it got... This is the problem, right? I think, or I thought back in the day that the more effort I put into a build, the more people will appreciate it. But that is not true. This was built in 5 minutes, and it got 6,000 likes on Instagram, and on Reddit it got 1.2 million views. So it basically went viral on r/Minecraft, and it got another 160k views on Minecraft builds. 5 minutes of work for over 1 million views. It doesn't feel fair, right? But that's just how it is. What I expect is not what actually comes out of content creating. This is a build that I still think this is such a nice build. Of course the shapes could be a little cleaner and whatnot, but just the head and the pose and all the swirls. Great swirl practice, great build. I like it, Picasso. This is when I built a little bit more ambitious terrain builds. And I realized that these kinds of terrains was much more fun, and I learned more by doing them. So I made a few of these larger terrain builds. A little sketch of a Greek mythology thing that I wanted to try out. Here's a cute duck. Yeah, I like this guy. Also, I think I got some nice shapes on the clouds as well. Very small build, very clean build as well. Super nice shape on that right tree. Some hands. This is a part of that build over there, which is a super old YouTube series that I started. So I just took that hand, minimized it, and made some fun things with it. Yeah, just an asset plot basically for trees. Nothing special. I use all of them sometimes, like once in a while, for different projects. Here's another very large terrain build. This was built on Builder's Refuge, and I think it was actually my first build on there because I wanted to try out meta brushes. And this is Angle Cliff, it was a tool that I haven't used before, but this is where I learned how to use it, and this is the outcome of that experiment. Behind me I have one of the first tree, like good quality trees. This is a really nice tree. I did some things with, you can't really see with the background, but this tree has more shapes into the branches and stuff. Also the leaves up here aren't really connecting now that I think about it, but it was so much fun to make a build like this. I improved a lot in my tree building skills by building this, so it was a good build for improvement. Same with this one. Very nice tree. This might be like top 3 favorite trees that I've built, just because of the roots and the shaping and all these deadwood, which is something that I hadn't incorporated into the builds. Yeah, super fun build, super good. We have this little thing. This is a small thing from a kite runner, which is a very large build that I will be going to very soon. Finally, these builds are not over, but before we go into those, I need to show this fish. This is basically just an experiment with loft, and I don't know how I did it, but I accidentally made such a nice shape with this fish, and I never used it for anything. Yeah, so this is just an experiment with loft, because we got loft into the server at this point, or maybe we had it before, but I hadn't tried it. This is a build I built for System C. He made a video about a bunch of builders building like new mobs into the game. So this was my entry. Moving on, we have another terrain concept. This one is a little bit larger, as you can see. This was the first time I used twist, which is a command that I started using quite a lot for a lot of my builds actually. Just experimented with it and made some cool terrain. This is a part of Kite Runner that I will be coming to. Same with this. This is from Kite Runner. This is a video. If you haven't seen it, it's like 30 seconds long of me building this goofy meme cat. This build is a very nice terrain. It's very small, but it has like that special special shaping that makes it feel unique. Yeah, personally, it's great. I like this a lot. It feels like it's very mythical and magical, and just added some houses just to make it feel inhabited more. This is a great terrain, because I feel like all of this in the, I think it's called Raven Cliffs or something, like this stands out, this crow skull or raven, I don't know, bro. And this one, they stand out so much, and they just become that kind of focal point for the whole thing. And just having all these cliffs slightly angled, it makes it feel like, at least I think, it makes it feel, my vision follows the line that all those angles make. My eyes follow the line, and I stumble upon like a new focal point. So, oh, there's a flag. I continue down. There's a skull. I continue down. There's a little rock on top of that thing, and then it feels like my vision is following the angles of the cliff. One of those pinball machines. Just your vision bounces down the build and lands at the bottom skull. At least that's my interpretation of it. That's how I feel when I look at it. Maybe some of you are like, what is he talking about? This was a commission that I built for a guy, and I think I got like $50 from this build, which is quite good for a build of this scale. But I mean, there was so many people asking for downloads on this build, but of course I couldn't give out downloads because it was commission. Like technically, it's not even my build. I built this for someone else. But I guess if I would have built this and given out downloads on Patreon instead, I probably would have gotten more money. But I don't mind. It's a sick build, and I'm just happy to be able to show it to you. Here's another tree concept. This one is a little bit smaller scale, but it is like kind of inspired of my first tree concept, just because of the leaves colors and the high branch height. I thought that was a cool addition to just have them be dragged out like that. Another sick tree concept. This was great practice with branch shaping, using stairs and all that. Because I feel like I learned more by doing that, and I learned that you don't have to be very precise with how well you make the branches flow, because they're branches, they won't be that flowy after all. Some things that I built together with Pass, I think. I can't remember if I did anything with these. Maybe I wanted to build a terrain for them, but never did. Yeah, I don't remember. This was also a commission. Same with this as the dragon one. This did so well everywhere that I got so many comments about, is this on your Patreon, and how can I download this? But yeah, same problem. It's not really my build anymore. So you just have to look at it and feast your eyes, and I'll move on. This is a build I built together with Ataj. A fun little build, very fantasy, magical-ish. Yeah, we just incorporated, or I feel like this build is more atmospheric than most of my builds, just because of how many different things it has. It has some mushrooms, some birds, some flowers, and some greenery, some waterfalls, and just a tree, and all that. Yeah, it feels more alive than most of my builds. Finally, we're done with the checkerboard. The first checkerboard. I have a second one. But first, I really want to talk about this build. This build is called Obunden. I could have named it Frihet or something like that, but I felt like that was way too basic for a build, since everything that has some kind of theme going, or like explain some kind of feeling of freedom, is also always called free something. So I wanted to call it Obunden instead. Well, instead, this was built actually as a spawn point for another server because I wanted to. It's not a commission, so this is available on my Patreon as a tier 3 build. Like, it doesn't matter how long ago this was built, I still am super happy. I'm super happy with how this turned out. It took 30 hours, I think, 30 or 40 hours. But like, as a better builder today, I can always be like, oh, this needs to be improved and this and that. But those are all very detailed issues. Composition wise, I'm super happy with it. It feels like it couldn't be clearer, this composition, the meaning of the build and the expression of it all. Of course the bird could have been improved, but it's like, why complain about so minor things when you can just enjoy the composition and the build itself? And those things that I complained about right now were all from me. I didn't hear like any negativity from anyone else, but this is my self-critic talking. This build is the first post that I posted on Instagram that got above 200 likes. And today it has 50,000 likes. So it was my first ever build to be of this scale, of this magnitude, but it was also my first ever post that got any attention from Instagram, and it just happened to be a home run, basically. Super nice build, one of my absolute best builds. Continuing this way, like, we have some other builders over this in that direction, but if we continue this way, we have some statue experiments that I did. We have this build from the YouTube series, and then we have a bunch of small things that I gathered from a lot of builds to use as assets mostly, or just to show off, like this one. Thank you for 10,000 subscribers / Davdi. That was built like a week ago. Thank you all so much for that. We have this thing that I built with Vahan. Super nice. I love these shapes. They're awesome. Just awesome. So when I used to build on, well, the last server I used to build on, I wanted to make some kind of tutorial plot. So new builders could go into the tutorial plot. They could see all the things that I had put down. So basically avoid this and avoid this. Make sure that your slab ends up on top of the full block. You can texture like this, but you can also texture with more shadow aspects of it. And here's like two types of gradients. We have one that uses very textured blocks and one that is mixed between very textured to a very non-textured block, and then so on. Both create a shade, but up close this one is cleaner. This is an example of depth. You can use like multiple blocks to create some kind of more interest to the eye. Yeah, just a point to explain. Greenery in a build is good. I just want to explain how to make curves basically. So this, like 3, 2, 1, that makes sense here as well, because we have 2 and then a half block up, then 3, and when I say 3 I mean halves. So 1, 2, 3, then we'll go up, and then it's 1, then 2 up, and then these aren't perfect because they're walls, but that's 2 full blocks. If these were in wall, it would be much smoother because it would be in the middle like that, because now it's almost symmetrical. yeah, it was just to prove a point about how to implement curves more. You can use different shapes to make more interesting buildings. Here are different roof types and spires, and this is why you want to learn organics even if you're a structure builder, because then you would be able to do things like this, have a clean staircase like that without having a staircase that looks like this. Just some small improvements for everyday building. Moving on, we have a dragon. I haven't posted this. I was supposed to post it, but I never did because I wanted to make, well, the plan was to build it in survival and then post it, but that never happened. So here I am with a banger build that I haven't posted, and I can't get myself to do it. Here's a colored version, which I think looks absolutely badass. This is from Project World Builder, same with that thing. I got some things over here. This place is made for like photos. So when I build stuff over here, I use this wall as a photo area. Here are just some experiments with flows and all that. I should use that bird sometime. It's a nice bird. Some fun shape practice. And this build I built with Zach MC. This is my latest post. You can find it on Instagram. This is gonna be in the hub as well, in the new hub, once that gets imported into the hub and all that. Yeah, you will find this in the hub later. Some things that I should use as well. These are super nice. They are supposed to be like the spores of moss, basically. A little butterfly thing I built. This is a look, I accidentally pasted this tower right into it, but this is actually a memorable build for Dr. Red. He just disappeared from content creating, and we don't know what happened with him, where he went. Maybe he just stopped building and posting, but he removed his Instagram account and all that. And we were pretty good friends, and we built quite a lot together. So great guy. Shout out to Dr. Red. Moving on, we have some builds over here that I haven't shown. This is also in the old hub, just a bird's nest, pretty cool thing. This is some kind of staff, at least that's what I wanted to make. This is when I first started to experiment with glass paints, so I learned some things doing that. Many of you probably don't know this, but the bakery logo in the hub, I built that. I didn't design the logo, but I built the one that is in the hub and that is used for all different collaborations and stuff. So that's fun to see that be used so much. We have some structures here, as you can see. I won't talk that much about them because we have this thing over here. This is Kite Runner. This is the thing that I talked about before. So we got a girl running with a kite. Great build. I like this a lot. I think this was for 15k special. The problem with this build is that it's more of a sculptural build than a Instagram post friendly build. So it didn't do super well on Instagram, but it was still. Oh, maybe I archived it actually. I should unarchive it so you guys can at least see it on Instagram. Great build. I like this build a lot. I tried to implement some structures here and there, so yeah, it's a good build. We got another large scale build that I never finished. Yeah, this project I had it like half worked on for many years. I made the umbrella, was super happy about it. Made a bench for it because I wanted this to be a pond or something. and then I ran out of ideas. I couldn't like figure it out, so it's been just sitting here for a very long time without anything happening to it. So I have been thinking of reusing the umbrella at least for probably Project World Builder, because it's sad to see this nice umbrella looking build just be unused like this. Over here we have some things. I asked Spritzu about helping me understand how to build faces in Minecraft, so we built these two together just so I could learn a little bit. This I have a video about. Like, I can't believe I actually made this. That's how good I think this build is. It's got everything that I want. It's got like some storytelling down here. It's got the cool organic shapes. It's got the expression of the bird, how angry it is, and it got like the artistic meaning with the hand. And these masks are so cool. Like, almost looks like a troll face. But yeah, it's such a nice build. I still like this so much. Yeah, if you haven't seen the video I made about this, you should take a look at it. It was my first video that I posted here on YouTube that actually was a little bit more ambitious than a just let's play or let's build. Oh, and I forgot to mention it also has movement. It feels like it's moving, like the whole build, with the smoke down here as well. Yeah, it's a good build, it's a clean build. Now we come to the early builds. These builds are from way back, like right when I started. These you can all find basically at the bottom of my Instagram page. These are all copies from the last creative server I used to play on. And this also, like, this looks super weird from the side, but when you come from here, it looks normal, as it should. But yeah, don't tell the others. Yeah, I put this on the back because yeah, I never showed like the side profile of this build. This was when I turned 19 years old. I'm 22 now. I posted this on my birthday. Up here we have some builds that I built with. These were by myself. I wanted to build something more creative, more artistic than just a terrain or an organic. So I tried to make some kind of artwork of it. This toucan down here was built with Nickaby. He posts on YouTube sometimes still, so you can find his stuff there. This is the space cat. Super cute build. I think this was... Yeah. This is a parkour thing. So you can play parkour on this whole build, and the goal is to get to the top. So you jump from here, like into the second circle, and then you get yourself all the way to the top. Down here we have more old things. This build is not mine. This was built from, well, my sister built it for a competition that I hosted. Super nice build. My sister, she builds basically the same way I do. And I get biased when I see this because it's so nice. It's so nice. We have the same taste. Also using the lanterns for atmosphere. Colorful snail. Just wanted to be a little bit unique, you know. And this is a build that I built like in a Discord call late at night. This is also a build that I have a video of building. It's so nice. I love this build. It took like the whole winter to pull together building wise and to edit and all that. This is when I implemented more glass panes. So now you can see me using glass panes more and more after this build. Now, this is the 10k special for my Instagram. So you might recognize some of these structures from the terrain that I showed earlier. Basically, the idea is to have a very new built area on top of a very old and ruined city, just to get more story into the build. I realize now that this could have some artistic meaning, but when I built it, I mainly just wanted it for the storytelling. This was also built on a terrible server for building, which is called Manacube ass server, terrible server. Everyone is so toxic, and and they had this grading system that I really wanted to get like that A tier rating as a builder, which is stupid because it's just a server. Why would I care so much about that? But I wanted to get that high tier ranking on this server, which they later removed. I managed to get a copy from the plots. Like the server themselves didn't want to give out. They didn't want to give out builds, so they just, no, you can't take your build. No copies, no schematics, no world downloads. The build stays here. So I stole my own build from that server, and here it is in my world on the bakery. Yeah, that was just a random side story. Oh, Shovel joined, and talking about Shovel, this build I made together with Shovel. It is a great build. We built a panda together and want to make some kind of structure on top of it. We had like a meme at the time, structure on organic, and it would go viral, and it actually would fairly often do very well on platforms if you just put a structure on top of an organic, even if it didn't make any sense to do so. For example, here's the tiny version of structure on organic. This one did super well on Reddit, it did super well on Pinterest, it did super well on Instagram, it did super well on, maybe not Twitter, but it did super well like everywhere, basically. And this is the improved version of that panda. Also, fun thing about this panda, this is like half of it. I forgot the ears. It has no ears, and I got so many comments about it, but the thing is, I actually forgot to add the ears. That's why it doesn't have any. Over here we have even more old school builds, like back in the day when I just got started with Instagram posting and stuff. Little tiny, this was in the spring, I think. No, this was built, I think this was built in the fall, or maybe it was early spring, I don't know. This was built during Christmas, no way. And all these builds, I think all they have a candle in them. Yeah, this is what you want to be looking for. All my builds doesn't have a candle in them, but some of the more special builds and the very early ones have a yellow candle like that. So you can see one in here as well. Although since this was built on 1.13, we didn't have candles, so instead I had a torch. This is where that whole thing started, with hiding a candle in the build as a tribute to all you guys, all that is following, all that is admiring my work. Just some shape practice. This was a fun idea I had, to have an egg and an octopus as well. This was before I posted Obunden, so this one didn't get much recognition, which is standard. Like, I never expected to get any attention whatsoever, but the fact that I actually got some after some time was... Actually, no, I was wrong. This was built when I made this back when I built all the terrain concepts. This is a dragon that I built for a collaboration together with Sixer and Tino, I think her name is. Little concepts. I'll just fly through all these and you can watch them for yourselves, and I don't have to explain them. You know, they're just builds. This is my first collab, I think. Or one of my very first collabs. This was built together with Snarple. Back when we built this build, I had 250 followers and he had 200 followers, I think. Yeah. So we built this together and we had some fun with it. He was very known for having 2 colors in the roof. He's also a great structure builder. Yeah, it was just a very nice collaboration. This bird is great from the front, but the side profile, I couldn't get it right, so ignore that. But the front, that is a cool view. There are some things in the background, but yeah, that's cool. This was built for a building competition. That was where I started basically to enter a bunch of building competitions. So this is my entry of one of them. I thought my build was super original, but I think it got like 7th place out of 12 or something. I was so disappointed about getting 7th place with such a nice build, and I still think that this is a great build. My problem at the time was that I believed that scale is overrated. So if I make something smaller but better quality, it should be praised more. But that's not completely true, because having good quality can work better with more, or like a larger build, because you can do more with a larger build. And because I limited myself to a very small scale, I couldn't really get that wow factor, you know? So even though it's a nice build, I was missing out on the wow factor. I started a thing that I called or I didn't call it this, but it was basically a painting series. So I tried to build different things and have them be sort of a painting, which I thought was a cool idea. This was inspired by a builder, I can't remember his name. He built something that was like, it had 3D components in it, but it also had very clear 2D components in it, so almost pixel art, like this tree. So I got some inspiration from that build and continued on that. Now let's fly away from all these old builds. So let's go to the other checkboard area. I do have some things here. These are made for, except for the Bananasaurus, based on an artwork from name will pop up somewhere. Also, I can add that the Bananasaurus did super well everywhere. Like, some of the builds that I made didn't do very well, but some just excelled. Well, most of my builds don't do very well, but some of them, they explode. And this Bananasaurus is one of the guys that exploded everywhere. It got loads of attention on Reddit, and I'm talking like 500,000 views maybe. On Instagram it did super well as well. It did great on Twitter. Pinterest, it's going crazy on Pinterest still. Actually, on Instagram it didn't do super well. It did alright. Everyone loves this guy, and I do too. I get lots of requests of that build from my Patreons that want to download it. So that's super fun that people like it so much. This is a commission that I built. It's spawn point for a server, and you were supposed to spawn right here and walk out into the world. And this was, all these houses were supposed to be areas that you can, or they were supposed to be portals that you can teleport into the server. Pretty cool commission. Here we go. Let's go to the second. This is the second checkerboard thing. So here we come to the structure on top of organic Ooga Booga series. So we got one right here, cow, rabbit, panda that is missing ears. This is just a very nice build. It feels more sophisticated, like as soon as I use stairs and slabs and more intricate detailing, it just feels way more sophisticated as a build. And that's something that I realized when doing this. Frog with house. Everyone loved this as well. This was a build together with Skoko Pope. I'm not sure, I don't think he posts that much anymore. But we built on the same server for a very long time, but we only did one collaboration, and this is the collaboration we did. Goat with structure on it. Everyone loved this. Some experimenting with some commands. This shape is a twist, like I showed in the other checkboard area. Also good practice for branches and all that. Not super like mind-blowing build for my taste, but still cool. I learned some things doing it. Super old build, you've already seen this. Very clean build. Having white trees was something that I hadn't experimented or tried before. So this was the time that I actually realized that, oh wait, I haven't used white. And this is a collaboration with Matt. One of my best ever collabs, I think, just because it's super clear like who influenced the build. Because often collaborations are like, for me that is like, I build a tree, you build a structure. But in this case, I feel like we combined the two very nicely. So you can still see that, oh yeah, Matt probably built most of the house and I probably built most of the tree, but they feel like they're very much the same build. We have a heron, a gray heron. No, it's called blue heron in English. Great organic, so happy about that still. This is a collaboration with Vahan, me and Bismuth. So as you can see, all the glass is all from Bismuth and the structures are Vahan's doing, and the terrain was mostly done by me. Actually, me and Vahan built this structure and Bismuth did the glass, and then I put it into a terrain to just make it postable for my audience, you know. Well, I do think that the orange and the purple goes super well together. Here's another birthday post, I think. I think this was 20... How many years did I... This is my 20th birthday 2 years ago. Yeah. Here's a tiny house. I think that was the name of the post or the build. And using these blocks for leaves instead of actually using green blocks, that was also something new that I hadn't done before. To be honest, this statue has a super good pose. I just think that pose-wise, on this scale, like, I never perform well on this scale. I do now perform well on smaller scales like this, but this was for my standards back at the time was impressive, like super impressive for me. I had no idea that I was capable of building like this when I built it. This was made for the old hub. You can see it in some renders. It's on the corner of the old hub. I found out about this thing, that you can make telephone lines, and I thought it was super cool, so I built something with. This is a commission for, was it Super C again? I honestly can't remember. I think it was, yeah. Yeah, ignore the box. I was using Lightmatica to make a schematic. This is a collaboration with Vahan again. We did some really nice shapes on the arches here. I think most of this was Vahan's doing, but I came to help out, and then we continued to build on it together. I found out about a command in Voxel Sniper that, like, with one click, it just created a flat square of blocks. So I thought that was a cool thing, and I wanted to make a little terrain concept. Ooh, I forgot about this build. One of my, like, I rarely build green terrain concepts. Can't remember if I built this together with someone or not. This is a goofy build I built not too long ago. This was after, like, when I was at Hunger Games school. I'm gonna say Hunger Games school because it sounds funny. I had a break and I built this. Either it was like during it or right after. I just wanted something to post so you guys wouldn't think that I disappeared or something. Designed by Cam, please don't steal. If you plan to repost, give credits. Okay, now you know it. So if you use this build or this design, make sure you credit Camudiab. A tiny little bread house, just a fun concept idea I came up with. A big build again. We got the Bananasaurus. Everyone likes the Bananasaurus. This is a collaboration with I think it was Cam actually. Let me check. Yes, that's right. I think this was for the old. It was for some event. I can't remember if it was for the hub or if it was for something else. Probably just a 24-hour build event. Here we have an otter that I built, mainly because, like, there's one person in my Discord table that love otters, and she requested me to build otters like over and over again for a very long time, and then after some time I thought about it and I actually went through with it. Another collaboration with Vahan and Bismuth. This did super well, I think. Love that build. This is a copy of a very large build. Oh my goodness, I have so many builds now that I think about it. I have even more in my single player world that I completely forgot. Here's a tree concept. Yeah, nothing fancy. Let's move on. A fun station that I built is just a research station. I was inspired by like some kind of space mission, but also a radio station kind of, which is something that still inspires me to build radio stations. This was built for, it was a very small building competition, or like a builders versus builder type of thing for a glowstones video. Yeah, super fun build. This is very inspired by a concept art on Pinterest. This is a collaboration with Tom Stein. That's right. I was thinking Tom and Mars, but I was like, I haven't collabed with him yet. Yeah, Tom Stein. We did some kind of base together. I was thinking of, actually, I said this to him before we started collabing, like, could I use this in my world builder series? And he was like, sure, but I never ended up using it, unfortunately. I don't know why. It took so long to release that video for the world building series that it just felt like I posted it on Instagram like years ago, and then I never followed through with it, so I just left it. Another Vahan Davdi collab. This is a small portion of PWB, Project World Builder, that we will explore later. Just a cool, like, I had this idea of having a branch that still made like the shape of the canopy, but wasn't connected to the actual tree. So that's why there's a gap here. I kind of wish I could have made that more obvious somehow, but it felt like it was like very few amount of people noticed that they were actually disconnected. But I felt like it was a cool idea anyway. I was bored during a well, I wasn't really bored, but I was a judge for a small building competition that we hosted on the public side of the bakery, just as a fun thing for the community. So Fu was the one hosting it, and I was asked to help with the judging. And then I built this in the center of the plot that they were building on. Then I collabed with Fu for real, and we built this very cool concept of a house. It's super clean, actually. So easy to tell what's going on, and it's so... yeah, it feels sophisticated and well put together. A very small cathedral that I planned to build in survival, actually, with Vahan. But never ended up doing so, unfortunately. But still, a super nice build. I think I posted it, and if I didn't post it, probably should. Because it's a complete build. This is a collaboration with Grayson. Here you can see the staircase that I showed before. This is the exact same staircase that I actually used for a build. So we built this. It's supposed to be like a not starter base, but a base for survival. So we tried to use like reasonable blocks. The back of the mushroom isn't that impressive, but the front sure is. I guess it wouldn't really matter if there was like a hill behind it anyway. Finally, that was all of the builds in this world, but I do have some more. I do have quite a lot more, actually. I have more to show, at least. If I do /home T for trash, this is where I put all my trash builds that I want to experiment on with commands, or builds that I dislike and just want to throw away but not delete, or just content creating. So we have so many things here. It's crazy. I should do a render of this area to see how it looks from, like, with all of the things inside of one frame. Do I actually have like the whole hub? No way. All right, yeah, because I want to take photos of this build. So this is the old hub that will be replaced. And this will be showcased probably later in this video. But the video for that is coming out soon, at some point. This is actually JP's build. Not mine. This is some experimenting. This here you can definitely see that this is for science. Okay, I experiment here with commands, and it doesn't always look very pretty, but it sure looks cool sometimes. Get some cool shapes just to learn the tool themselves. So these are all like different tools that I've been trying out to see what they do and how they work. Here we have the umbrella again. This is where I put... I was gonna do like... or maybe I did, I can't remember. Like a level 1 tree, a level 2 tree, level 2 tree, level 4 tree. I think I did that, but I honestly can't remember. Now let's go into my creative world on single player. This is my creative world on single player, and here are some of my first ever builds. But this is my second ever organic. It's supposed to be a fish, 2 fishes. This is my first ever. It was pretty good. It was a rabbit. Doesn't look much of a rabbit right now, but yeah, this is the old creative world that I had. This was built all by hand. This was supposed to be some kind of magical little fantasy land with a desert underneath the sea, so that was pretty unique and cool, I think, at least. And then there's a cave. Oh, you can't see anything. The cave goes out here. Yeah, pretty cool build. I love this build. It was super well put together for my skill level at the time. This was built right before I started my Instagram, so like a month before. And we got some more of the classic builds. Ah, yeah, the rubber duck that you saw before, this is where that's from. I will remove my shaders so I can actually fly around. Little concept. I was gonna do a render of it, which I think I did actually, but I didn't do anything with the render after. This is a cool build. That's a nice face. I mean, it's not perfect, but could have been worse, for sure. I think that's all of the builds I have on single player. Yeah, I have all my big builds in here. Right! I just forgot. There is one single build that I haven't shown. And after that, I think I have shown almost every single build. But this build, oh, I need to remove. This build is amazing. It is amazing. It is just amazing. I also have a video in the making for this build, but that won't be coming out for quite some more time, unfortunately, because I need to finish this video, the 10k special, and then this is coming out after those. But yeah, this was made for the bakery building competition. I think I got top 10 or something. This might be like my second favorite build that I have made after Project World Builder. And this will probably end up in the World Builder series as well, just because it has so many intricate details that I haven't been able to move in there, but I really want to. So we'll see what happens with this. I might not include like the whole build, but definitely a few parts from it. I do have some nice renders of this build as well. It's so good, so good. Let's go back to the bakery. What is going on? What? When I was editing, I realized that I forgot to show off a very important build. But since there has gone some time since I recorded the last clips, we have updated the hub. So this is the new hub that you can all look around in when you want to. Let me show you my contribution. This area over here I built together with Zach Builds. So you can find that on my Instagram if you want to see that. Or you can just look at it in-game over here. The build that I wanted to show was in the 501. And it is this very large build. This build is in a 500 by 500 area. So it's a very large terrain build, which was built for a building competition, a terrain competition from XU. I wanted to make some kind of a very hostile looking planet, hence the smoke and all the pointy shapes. But I often use this place as my temporary place for filmmaking. So this is where I live. I got some light in here. You can find this by yourselves in the bakery server as well. Oh, that's a wall. It was just, this was the old spawn in this world. I'm not sure if it is still. Oh, there is no spawn. But this is very close to the 0 mark. I think this, yeah, that's the 0 mark. So it's super close to the spawn point. So this is also a build you can check out. Also, when I was touring my worlds, I forgot in the home trash, I have an area far away over here, which is a mashup between all my biggest builds to see the scales between them. But here you can see like how absurdly large this terrain is, because it can literally fit like all of my builds in it, including this, which was a very large build at the time. But this is, well, 4 times, maybe even more, maybe 8 times larger than than that, if you include the height, that is. So it's super cool. I just realized that I missed this whole area when I was touring. So here it is. Now back to the video. Yeah, let's go to World Builder project. Some things in here you haven't seen, and they will be showcased soon, very soon. This is Project World Builder. I will put on shaders just for this area because it's just so goated, bro. This area is just so good. Oh, I need to turn off clouds. Like, the problem that I have with recording videos for this series is that when I record things and do things, I cannot explain everything that I think and everything that I feel, because those videos are so fast-paced that I can't keep up with like my actual thoughts and feelings for this project. So finally I have some time to explain about this world. So this world is my creative outlet. This is what I want. All the things, all the builds that I've built for Instagram, they should be like, the concept of those builds should be implemented in this world. Not as the exact concept, but I feel like I really want the idea and the same feeling of fantasy and all those things to apply in this space. So I want this to be a little bit surrealistic, but also have the interest that I really enjoy in real life. For example, I enjoy architecture a lot. I don't know a lot about architecture, but I do know that I like it. I also like nature a lot, and I want to implement those things as well. Also, there are some things in here that is it's work in progress. So this yellow right here, it shouldn't be here. That's getting removed. It should be green. We have this area. Like, when I make videos for this world, I can explain what happens in my life. If you compare this to the first building series that I did here on YouTube, it is the same concept where I build one part of the build, and then the next episode I continue on that same part. Because if you if you look at other builders like Jaracraft, Trixie Blocks, Shovel, they do this ginormous world, and they do one area, and then they move on to something completely different. It's still the same world, but you can't really understand how they correlate to each other, like how close are they to each other. So they fixed this by using a map, which is great. But I wanted to build something more personal that I can be happy with, because content creating often takes over the whole fun aspect of creating and wanting to build something for me, because I want to build something that I can be happy about and be proud of, and I can look back upon and remember what I was either dealing with at the time, or what I was going through, or maybe it was like great things that happened in my life, and I explained that in the videos. So for me, it's almost a way of using Minecraft both as a creative outlet, but also as a diary, because this area is completely new to you guys. You haven't seen this. This is the 10K special for YouTube, and this is just a tour of this area. So I won't go through like how I made things or why I made things, because I will go through that in another video. This area is very special for me because I didn't know that I could be successful. And what I mean by that is, like, I didn't think that getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube was possible. I seriously didn't think that. And now you guys made it possible for me to have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I can't comprehend that. It's like so far beyond my imagination that I never believed that I would sit here today and talk to you guys and thank you for 10,000 subscribers. Like, I wouldn't dare to dream that big. So it's just super, you know, it's touching. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. I know that, like, some people have millions of followers on YouTube, but for me, having 10,000, I never thought that I would be here, you know? Like, if you know me as a person, I might have told you, or if you're very close to me at least, I would have told you that I feel like I'm capable of reaching success, whatever that means. It could be like being the best at my sport or something. But in YouTube terms, it's like, anyway, I feel like every single area in this world has something very special that is connected to, like, what I've experienced. When I built that build and this area and the whole garden, I had no idea I would actually go somewhere on YouTube. And then I went to the Bible school, or Hunger Games school, some would call it. I met lots of new friends, and it was like life-changing for me. I felt super lonely actually, like before Bible school. And then I built this area as an update on what I've been through and what I find meaningful in my life, hence this statue. I felt like I was letting go of the things that didn't really matter to me, and instead focusing on things that would matter to me. This whole area like explains so much in my life, not visually, but it's still, I built this right after I had like the best year of my life. now it's a year after that. You guys made like something that I didn't think was possible. I'm probably not explaining this very well, but that's at least something I really wanted to get off my chest. And it's so hard to explain these things like in an actual YouTube video, because I don't feel like I have the time to express everything that I want to express. Those kinds of videos aren't suited for so much emotion. It's just things needs to happen quick. It's making me not produce with my heart but with my mind, and to try to convince viewers to still watch, which sucks because all I want to do is to create art in this game. This whole YouTube thing makes me think about what other people want instead of what I want, because it kind of traps you and makes you think like, oh, you need to make something that others will like, when in reality you should make something that you like. And I like this very much. This whole project is the reason why I'm still doing YouTube and still building in this game. I probably wouldn't build in this game unless I had this project, because doing YouTube videos just for views and to get likes and to get money from it's so boring. Like for everyone, for the viewer, for me, it doesn't bring me any joy whatsoever. I want to build something that makes me happy, like from a creator standpoint, because I realize now that when I try to make videos that are super focused on the retention, it kills the whole fun of it. And it also makes all these projects feel so much larger than they actually are. So thankfully, when I streamed like two weeks ago, I realized that I should do just a normal tour of the bakery, all of the builds that I have on the bakery, and slow down a little bit, because I think that's what I needed. I just needed to slow down a little bit. But thank you for listening. Sorry if I went on a rant on the end there. I really want to continue this series, but sometimes it's hard because I feel like I'm forcing creativity. I want this to be fun. I want this to be enjoyable to watch and inspiring to watch. I feel like this is an important video that I need to make, because I need to break a bad habit of making videos for others instead of making videos for me. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have you guys. I would probably be building, but not on this scale, not like this. I wouldn't be able to create stories without you guys. So you guys mean a lot, and thanks for watching. I can't believe you guys watched this far into the video. You probably didn't watch this far into the video, at least not the whole way, but that's fine. You can hop around. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.